Once again, thank you so very much for tuning in to Sanjubaba's show. Really appreciate you guys tuning into this show, because this is what I really want to bring to you on a weekly or a bi-weekly basis. Somebody from the city or from the county or from the state who has achieved something or is trying to achieve something or is looking into something. And I would appreciate if you would help me out with this also, viewers. If you know of somebody who is trying to get somewhere tomorrow and would like to talk to the public, I would love for them to come and connect with me at Sanjubaba Show at Channel 12. Today, once again, I've got a very interesting personality with me, and this gentleman has been with the government for quite some time now, moved from a different city, 25 years as a government servant, and now he's looking into becoming a public servant. Now that's a quite of a change. And for that change and for those questions that we need to hear and the answers from the horse's mouth, I do have with me today Mr. Paul Shepard, who's running for the mayor's office come this November elections. Mr. Shepard, welcome very much
nice
to the Channel 12. Thank you so very much for coming in. Thank you. So from Mr. Shepard to Mayor Shepard, how does that feel?
It's overwhelming. It's something I've been thinking about in the past couple years, to go for a political office. But not your typical mom and dad's politician. I'm point blank. I'm honest. I'm not going to make promises I can't keep, and try to treat everyone with a voice. I don't care who you are or who you are, but everyone's voice is accountable. I mean, they need to be heard. So that's what I'm running for.
Paul, why? Why as a mayor? Why not as a city, or as a Senate office, or in the future possibly you might go for governor, I don't know, but why as a mayor today?
Pocatello I've called home for the last 23 years. I love the city, it's great things. I rather hope Pocatello, the state of Idaho. Idaho is a great state, but Pocatello is where my heart is, and that's where I want to stay and be.
And where have you moved from?
I came from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, lived there for 10 years, that's where I graduated high school. Moved to Pocatello, and I've never looked back ever since. I mean, I literally married the lady, or the girl next door. 3 beautiful daughters with her, and I'm, like I say, Pocatello's my home, and I'll call it home the rest of my life, no matter what. So
Wyoming has just been a little sister city next door, right?
Yes, it was fun growing up, but Jackson is not how it is anymore when I last lived there back in the 80s. Now it's way too money, rich. A regular person can't live there. It's way too hard to make ends meet. Pocatello's simple. I like I say, the community, the people are the best.
Now, you've lived here for about 25 years now?
Yes.
25 years. What makes you think, Paul, that you have gained the trust, the assurance from the community, the belief from the community that tomorrow you can lead the city?
My best personality for me is just being honest, open. I mean, I want to fight for the city of Pocatello. I want Pocatello to still grow. I mean, we have the surrounding communities like Boise and Salt Lake. They're plenty big. Pocatello needs a few more, but mainly businesses. I mean, let's get everything we can. And I always call it the geographical hub, where Pocatello sits in the middle of Twin Falls, Idaho Falls, and Salt Lake. Where, yes, I know they're expanding and they could probably draw all the people for that business, but let's get it here in Pocatello. I mean, nothing against those cities. They're doing the right thing, but let's go after them, do what we have to do to get businesses to come in and stay and support and let them grow.
So when you have mentioned a couple times already about growth in the city of Pocatello. Now, how do you see the growth coming to the city of Pocatello?
Mainly businesses. And if we can get the great mega businesses like Hoku, which didn't work out too well, I'm all for it. I mean, we're going to always, like what I say, Pocatello is also a college town. You also have a lot of minimum wage jobs, because most of the kids are here just to get their diploma, work part-time or full-time, just to get by, then move on. Let's get the bigger and better businesses in here to keep, I mean, our next generation to stay here in Pocatello if they want to. I mean, I keep telling my daughters it's a great place. If you decide to move somewhere else in the country, great, but we got to be able to hold on and be able to support ourselves here in Pocatello too.
So when you talk about bigger and better businesses, now what am I thinking? What am I looking at? Are you thinking of not taking care of the mom and pops tomorrow?
Oh, no,
because mom and
please.
pops, I think they bring in the economy and the stability of a city.
Yes, the mom and pops, they're, how would I say this? They're the backbone. I mean, they're mom and pop stores. I'd love to support them. They're trying to make ends meet. They're trying to provide a business. They're local. Everyone should shop at them. Do what you can to help support them.
So how would you differentiate bringing in bigger and better businesses with mom and pop? So if you are bringing in bigger businesses, are you looking towards big corporations coming to town? And then
I wouldn't mind having the big corporations just for the more
how would the mom
high
and
end of
pop
the
would
jobs.
survive?
That's a very good question. The one thing is the support of the community. I mean, if there's the mom and pop store, which have the same item as like a Walmart for a couple dollars more, I want to go toward the mom and pop store. They also have to adjust and, I mean, what's the word am I looking for? To compete. I mean, we don't expect them to be, let's see.
You know, it gets a little too hard when you
It does,
bring
'cause,
in
I
the
mean-
word compete, because mom and pop, we are working on a small budget,
Right.
and we are trying to attract the best we can to support the family and become an entrepreneur, and tomorrow be a corporation. So I myself come up with a mom and pop business, and we work really hard from day and night to see what we can do to survive and feed our family. So it sometimes, I think, Paul, hurts when we see big corporation coming in. By the same time, on the other flip side of the coin, it helps a lot of people, as you had already mentioned, with jobs. Now you're sitting on a very fine line. How would you try and balance that?
That's another good question. I'll have to think about that one for a second.
Okay,
We'll come
sure,
back.
we'll come back on that. Now, you know, something must have intrigued to you, something must have concerned to you, something must have really bothered you that you have decided to wear this hat tomorrow. Tomorrow you've been given the chair of the mayor. What made Paul Shepard decide picking up a mayor's chair?
Just to see Pocatello keep heading the right way in growth, and what I gotta walk this line carefully, not to upset anyone, but make sure everyone has the same voice. I mean, more or less, and this may sound funny, but take the politics out of being mayor, meaning I listen to my people, the voters. They're the ones that got me this job, and whether they vote for me or not, or don't even vote, they have a right to raise their voice and be heard, and make sure everyone gets a fair shake. I mean, make sure they're heard. I mean, any ideas, great or bad, I mean, you can decipher that from there, but just be able to listen to everyone. Make sure everyone feels like, yes, you're part of the solution, part of the community.
What makes you think the present mayor is not doing this?
Offhand, he really hasn't hurt me with, I mean, bad or good with the
Sure.
city. Just, I think
You're
it
thinking
can be a
there's some
different way.
lacking. There's something which is lacking right now.
Not
Is that what you're
straight
thinking?
out, not
Okay.
even like as a horrible mayor or anything.
Okay.
I don't believe so. He's done his job. I'm just thinking there should just be new blood. I mean, I'll go after Blad, I'll go after Chase, and I will do it civil. I mean, I'm not going to throw him in the mud because
Sure.
that's politics. Try to stay away from that and just, I mean, it's kind of like the popular thing. It's what the citizens believe in you. I mean, I'm not going to make promises that I can't keep. That's a no-brainer. That's not right. But just to show you can have the support of the citizens and then support them and make sure their voices are heard.
You had mentioned in our past discussions that funding was a big issue to run for an office.
Oh, yeah.
Now, how much does it really cost to run for an office for a mayor?
To be honest, I was thinking of maybe spending a few grand, but I've heard other people, they've spent $5,000 to $10,000 or even $20,000 to $30,000 for the billboards, the media, the press. I can't do that.
How is Paul going to market his own self for the next 6 months?
Best way is, I mean, do what I can financially. Campaign funds, great. And on the campaign funds, it's nice. Like if you were to give me $1, I'm going to give you a big thank you, shake your hand. If someone bigger came in with a $5,000 or $10,000 campaign fund, I'm going to do the same thing, shake their hand and give them a big thank you. I'm not going to be in their pockets or anything, as some political people might be.
Okay.
They're both going to be heard the same way. They're equals in my mind. That's all there is to it. And I'm the old-fashioned way, media, like your show and KPVI and KIDK, I mean, the Journal. And the best thing, going out and to meet people. Since the last couple months when I started doing this, I've been doing more and more things. And it's just nice meeting new people. It's kind of interesting, and to hear their ideas or just walk the beat. I mean, literally walk if I have to and meet everyone I can in town.
Thank you. That's what was my next question. What are you doing to meet people? Because I haven't seen Paul Shepard in the city yet. I haven't seen Paul Shepard walking around and meeting people or coming to businesses or saying, this is who I am, how are you doing, where you are at. When do you plan to start cultivating your own self to the city and introducing yourself to the city?
I've started with, like I say, little things with community events. In fact, just about a month ago was the one fundraiser, Walk a Mile in Their Shoes, where men wear high heels. And
did you organize that?
No, I didn't. I can't think of the business off the top of my head. I'm going blank there, but it was for good causes, for help battered women and children, and for abuse. And it's definitely, when you walk a mile in her shoes, my feet are still paying for it, walking in high heels. And it's slowly, and I know that's why I just started about a month ago, started meeting the people, and I know I got a long road here. I mean, the election's 4 or 5 months away, just to get out and keep meeting, go to the fundraisers or charity events or the 5K runs or 4th of July parades, homecoming parade eventually, just to get my name out there, word of mouth. That's how strong I have to be, because again, with the funds, I'm not going to be able to buy ads on TV or the billboards and signs. Those I'm going to pretty well make my own and hope for the best.
I think Mayor Bled has done a fantastic job during his career also for the last 4 years. And as soon as you take a pressure like that, a seat like that, a chair like that, it comes with a package deal. You know, you've got a pressure from the community, you've got a pressure from your city office, your staff, your budget crunch, which is the most important one. How is Mr. Shepard going to look into the budget? And we have been talking about this downtown improvisation for the last 5 years now, and nothing has come up yet. I think it's always because there is a budget crunch. How are you going to see that you can grow the budget tomorrow and fulfill the demands of the community for the downtown Pocatello, and we would like to see the downtown Pocatello do better tomorrow?
That's one thing I'm going to have to learn, and I know there's good people here at the city of Pocatello to help me or show me the way or give me ideas. We're going to just have to attack aggressively and do what we can. And that's kind of really it for now. And like I say, it's a learning thing for me. That's going to be a challenge, and I know the mayor is just not a 5-day work week. It's going to be a 24/7, and hopefully most of the time the community will keep happy, but I'm going to have the negative. I mean, that's just the way it goes. You're not going to make everyone happy.
Do you know where Pocatello is sitting right now as far as their budget and where they are heading and what they are trying to fulfill in the next 6 months?
On that part, I don't know.
Okay. What do you think about the present council members? Do you think you're going to keep the same council members if you have been given, if you're chosen as our new mayor?
If they can win their re-elections, great. If there's someone new, if I'm happen to win, I will be able to work with them. I know some of them not personally, but I know the names in that. But if they're losing their election parts and new people get on board, which will kind of help me, I'll be in the same boat as them, hopefully learning, and not by mistakes, but it'll be an interesting challenge. It's overwhelming at times, but I just keep thinking to myself, just go for it. I mean, what's the worst? I lose. Oh well. If I win, and I've already mentioned it to the wife and kids, it's like I will be busy. So I mean, it'll be a strain, but it's pretty well what you make of it. I mean, you can go into it thinking, being overwhelmed and always worrying, or take it and go with it. I mean, make it what you want of it.
You know, certain things happens in a small city like ours. Our first mayor, Mayor Chase, I think there was a situation with the dog ordinance. And then right now our mayor is doing a fantastic job, but he has gone through some tough time also by himself. Now, those are some of the community concerns, which again, there's another area on the south side where they have got, on a continuous basis, they have got water issues. Those are some of the major, I think, concerns that I have when I see the new mayor come in. How is the new mayor going to fulfill those obligations? How is he going to make sure that I'm going to do better than what my past mayor has done? What are your plans? What are your vision for simplifying these issues that our community is having?
The main two things I keep expressing to everyone: one, everyone has the same voice. I mean, everyone's equal. Two, the economy. Let's keep it strong, keep it going. Three, working for the water department for 23 years. Water's precious. End of story. We got to protect it. We got to make it safer. We got to keep going with it. I mean, the new businesses that come in, work with them. Maybe cut deals for like water and sewer. Don't ding them hard. I mean, work with them because we're going to get that back eventually anyways, with the revenue they're bringing in and the water using and sewer and all that. But water is the main thing with me because, one, I work for the department and it's like gold. It's what builds and destroys cities, real simple. If there's no water, we're done.
Sure.
If we have a good, conservation, do what you can, and I'm learning that through the years. I have a buddy at work that always bugs me about recycling, and I'm learning and I'm getting better and better and better. This more or less like cleaning up the planet, cleaning up Pocatello. Guard the water, that's the main thing.
You know, talking about recycling, you know, you brought up a very, very good word over here. People in the city of Pocatello has been looking for a glass recycling facility for a long time now. Would Mr. Shepard think something about that once it gets the office?
I would say yes. I mean, why not? We're doing it with paper, cardboard, copper, brass. I mean, everything we can recycle, let's do it. I don't see why not.
You've been involved with the city of Pocatello for 25 years now. Now you know a lot about our city and our office. How would you work with the small mom and pops on a daily basis to see that we can grow some more businesses in town and give them an opportunity to become an entrepreneur tomorrow?
Best thing, and I know I keep going over and over, but supporting them. I mean,
how would you support them?
Buy lunches, buy from them, buy the clothing, fundraisers, or like if they have a community event. I mean, just show your support for them. Just, hey, I'm here. What do you got? And I know we have the big conglomerates like Shopco, Walmart, and that, and they're always going to have the businesses. But again, back to the mom and pops. In my opinion, the best way for them to survive, the community has to get behind them. And if they're doing a good job, I don't see it not happening because people are going to, I mean, if like you have a restaurant, I believe, right?
Yes.
If it's good service, good food, people are going to keep coming. And then when the new restaurant or the new store opens, at first, people are going to hit it. But with your great service and food at all times, yes, you might see a little decline for a brief, but those patrons and customers are going to come back because they know the difference. I mean, they're good food. So the good thing is, I mean, the best thing, and I'm not trying to tell you how you run a business or anything, but it's good service and the commodity you're doing, the restaurant or the clothing or whatever the case may be. Good service is going to keep bringing people back, and at least that's what I hope.
What does your wife think about this, you running for mayor?
I'm not too sure. I try to get a straight answer out of her, and she hasn't said anything, or are you crazy, or what are you thinking, or are you having a midlife crisis, buy a new car? I don't know. So far, she 100% support. I mean, it's funny because the little things she'll say, are you going to go to this, or are you going to go to that? And I've been trying to do things, but sometimes there'll be like 2 events in one night. It's like, oh, okay, which one do I go to? So far, I have 100% of her support. My daughters are enjoying it right now because of mainly seeing me on TV or in the paper. I have a 23-year-old. My one daughter's birthday is tomorrow. She'll be 18. Then I have a 13-year-old.
Well, happy birthday to your daughter.
And her name's Caitlin.
Caitlin, happy birthday to you.
And they're showing me support. And it's funny because when I first brought it up at the City of Pocatello Water Department, I'm going, this could be interesting. None of my buddies have said something like, what are you thinking, or are you crazy? It's like, well, good luck. It's like, thank you. That's all I can do. And like I say, I'm not going to please everyone.
There's an old saying that behind every successful man, there's a woman's hand. Would you consider that woman your wife, or would you consider a friend of yours? Who would you consider your mother?
It would be the wife. Okay. I mean, if they've always said opposites attract, she might as well be a saint in my opinion. I mean, everything I do, I'm the bad one. She is the angel. She is definitely a saint, putting up with me for 23 years, 22 years.
What does she do for a living?
She works at TLC Daycare, and she's been there longer than I've been with the city, teaching 2.5 and 3.5-year-olds, which I look at her as like, how do you do that? That's, I mean, at times your own kids, you want to, like, what are you doing? But day in and day out, she's teaching 2.5, 3.5-year-olds. And, I mean, she has bad days just like everyone else in the world, but she loves it to death. And it's really a really great daycare, so I recommend it. So
Great, great. Well, let's assume that Mr. Shepard has become mayor today. What is your first and foremost priority that you're going to see in the first 6 months of your getting the office?
and a lot of questions to be answered. One, of course, working with the city, I'm diehard and loyal, and make sure the city employees are well taken care of. I mean, they're the backbone. They're the ones that are out there day in, day out for services. Like water department, I'm always going to argue for them, because I've been there at 2 in the morning fixing the water leak so that community or that neighborhood can have water. And the one thing I hate, but that's a given, is when I hear bad talk about city employees. And they all joke like, oh, it takes 4 guys to do something, or one is they're all standing on shovels. No. These guys work their butts off. The water department, or sanitation, WPC, traffic, the police, the firemen. We chose this profession, and we're going to make the best, and I want the best and dedicated employees.
You know, I totally appreciate and salute everybody over there for the city employees, because they really do a lot of very, very good work, and they're always taking care of the community, and that's really appreciable.
And being a government, there's always that joke. Like, look how many,
it'll always be.
We chose this profession.
It'll always be.
We are happy to do it. It's fun. I used to get yelled at playing in the mud. Now I get paid. But now I'm a warehouseman for the water department, so I'm mainly making sure we have inventory on hand and they have parts, because if not, then it's my butt. It's happened before, and I don't plan to get in trouble again.
What's the position in the water department right now?
I'm a warehouseman purchasing agent.
Okay,
so I get to help, like, do not really the budget, but like what we need for the year, the bulk of it, like our materials bid list. Then other parts of the season, like jobs that come up, I make sure I have the parts, make sure they get here on time. So, and that's one thing I'd love to see Pocatello have, would be a better waterworks store, like a HD Fowler or HD Supply or a Ferguson's, where we can get it quicker. But most of them are in Idaho Falls, Twin Falls, Boise. That's just the way it goes with the economy. When it really hit hard, they started closing stores, and of course Idaho Falls and Boise has them. I'd love to see one back here again, make my job a little bit easier. So
Sure, sure. You know, when we talk about budget, and from a supervisory level, you'll be leading the entire city. When the question of budget cut comes in, first and foremost, what would Mr. Shepard think? Would you let go a lot of city officials, or how would you work with that? Because every department, every big company, whenever they seem to have a budget crunch, the first thing is laying off people, which I think is the saddest part of the entire deal. How would you work on that?
That would be last resort. That would be,
Thank you.
My hands are tied, I can't do a thing for you, sorry, but, excuse me, but we'll need some water here. That would be the last thing. I mean, that's end of story, just like your business. You don't want anyone to go. If they're not doing their job, then it's not a problem. It's like you're not doing your job. See ya. We would have to shave or cut parts or watch what we do. I mean, shave what you can to keep the jobs. And like I say, last come to it, I don't even want to think about it, because you're bugging that person or their family, because I mean, that's their source of income. That would be the last thing in my mind. I would try to, and not really cut back on services, because we need the water, the sanitation, garbage and all that. There's got to be other areas we can cut. I mean, go over the books, save every penny we can, every dollar. Then if it comes to it, it would be terrible.
What is your fundraiser plan?
What's that?
Your fundraiser plan.
To get money for the campaign funds,
Yes.
or
No, for your office, for the city office. How would you generate more funding for the city office?
That's another good question. I really don't want rates or taxes to go up or anything, because people pay enough for that. Maybe watch the budgets. Maybe, of course, if you're allotted so much, and let's say in one budget, well, like water department, let's say we're given $100,000 a year for something. Well, if you have to spend it, then do so. But if you don't have to, let's reward those departments that save money. And then that can go hopefully back into a general fund or something, and hopefully like another down the road, we want a new facility or something. Well, maybe the money's there. We don't have to do anything and say, well, here it is. Let's build something new or this or that. So maybe, I mean, not try to penny pinch, but watch what you're spending on. I mean, I'm thinking like your business, you don't want to spend when you don't have to. I mean,
Sure.
make sure you have your product in and then go from there. Raising water rates and utility fees, I'm not a fan of it. Last resort. Property taxes, I'm in the same boat. I pay taxes and everything. If it's for a good cause, great. Otherwise, leave mine alone. Just like everyone should be the same. Everyone has to do their part, but the money issues, I mean, economy, seeing better than what it was just a couple years ago. Not as many homes are in foreclosure or being sold, but just watch your money. Don't overtime spend because, again, the joke, oh, they're government, they got money. Like, no. Let's try to do what we can. Let's reward the departments for saving money.
Well, we've got a zoo over here in Pocatello, and you know that very well. And our zoo doesn't have a bathroom, a proper bathroom, and we have been working on that for quite some time, I believe. I've got some of my friends who are involved in this, and it has been a budget crunch also. Now, I totally understand and respect that, yes, as soon as we have some budget, we're going to have the bathroom over there going. But tell me about this situation next to Yellowstone, the corner of Yellowstone and the Highway 86 exit, the construction over there, which is going on right now. This is the third year that we have got this construction going on. What is it? What is the vision for that area? What are we trying to do over there?
Is this like over by
Next to
Walmart, the
yes.
Chubbuck? That's Chubbuck's main thing, I think. But for the interchange,
Isn't that Pocatello and Chubbuck both together?
to be honest, I don't know the answer to that, and
Okay.
it may be. And if it is, then I need to pay more attention, learn a little bit more. So I don't know, and I don't want to give an answer that I don't know to.
Because I believe the half part is Pocatello, half. I might be wrong too. Because
Yeah,
I
I
think
could
it
be
is
way
half
off.
and half.
I mean, like I say, I
But-
could study more and learn more things, which I'm slowly doing. Like I say, it's up for me to learn more and more issues of Pocatello and help out. So
Every city in the entire country, they dedicate themselves towards downtown. Everybody in the entire country, wherever we go, to any city we go, we always want to go downtown. When we go to our downtown, what does Mrs. Shepard think that we are missing? What do we need to do to boost the downtown up so we can get a little bit more traffic in there?
one thing I'd like to say, and I've always heard rumor of it, but the old Hotel Whitman, I heard, and this has been a couple years, I always thought that was going to be like renovated for like apartment complex or something.
It is.
Is it, maybe you
is
know if
ready.
it's getting done?
It is ready.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
all the
again,
apartments are ready to go.
Just downtown, the two things I don't like about town, and sorry now, so I might make you guys mad, but let's get it cleaner and watch the, how do I say this in a good way? The personalities down there. I mean, I don't want to call them bad or anything, no.
What do you mean by personalities?
safety.
Is it the business?
No, not the business at all. I try to word this the right way because, like I say, I don't want to step on anyone. We'll put it this way, cleaning and safety issues maybe. And that's how I kind of look at it. Because I know there's no way I'm going to let my daughters walk down there after 9 or 8 at night. Like if my daughter, Michaela, her and her friends is like, well, watch what you do. And that's just common sense, and that could be anywhere. Pay attention.
So what are you going to do to fix those?
That's another good question. One thing we could do, and maybe you've noticed, are the communities of or people of Pocatello, and it must be the wind all the time, but it always seems like there's garbage lying around. Maybe do some more community effort, or even with City of Pocatello, cleaning. It always seems like there's papers rustling around. That's probably in all the same cities, but try to get it cleaner, more friendlier. And like I say, the business, keep packing them down there. I mean, I have no problem, and I'll visit and say hi. But just Old Town, like he's mentioned, every town has it, and support them.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Shepard. Really, it was such a pleasure talking with you today. And how can we connect with you?
You can call me on my cell phone, which is pretty well going to be
At-
on 24/7. It is 241-4373.
241-4373.
And then my email is shepard4mayor@yahoo.com.
shepardformayor@yahoo.com. Folks, thank you so very much for tuning into Sanjubaba Show once again. Hope you have enjoyed the program today, and hope you have got some questions answered from our third candidate who is running for mayor this coming November. Once again, folks, just as a quick reminder, if you do have somebody that you think would be interested in talking to the public and visiting with me at Channel 12, please do not hesitate connecting with me at Channel 12 or at sanjubaba@yahoo.com. Thank you so very much once again, and looking forward to seeing you sometime again next week. Thank you.